The following report contains flash photography.
He's in there somewhere, the new Labour leader who wants to be your next Prime Minister. They knew it, he knew it. These rivals and the Labour establishment lost the argument.
Jeremy Corbyn elected as leader of the Labour Party.
This humble rebel had to be persuaded even to stand, yet 250,000 people named him their first choice. Months ago that seemed impossible. By this morning the only surprise was the scale of his support. A new suit, maybe, but ideas he's held for decades.
We don't have to be unequal. It doesn't have to be unfair. Poverty isn't inevitable. Things can and they will change. Thank you very much.
But many of these MPs' politics are so far from his, they will not grin and bear it. 7 of the shadow cabinet have already resigned.
He's done it not by a small margin, but by a mile, a thumping victory. The unexpected candidate is now Labour's accidental leader.
This is an enormous achievement.
Can you believe that you've won by such a margin? Can you give a brief word so the audience is already voting for you?
But his face betrays how brutal the coming months may be.
Right, thanks.
But tonight, euphoria. These are his people. Nearly 100,000 of them signed up just to back him. A new audience for the ideas of old Labour. And some of today's biggest smiles were from vintage faces. He told me he hadn't been so happy in years.
People are sick and tired of the last 30 years in which ordinary people got left behind while the bankers made a fortune.
What do you make of the scale of the result, Ken?
Just stunning. No one could have predicted. Oh, he will. With the majority like this, they'll have to. Oh, dear.
Corbyn and his new deputy, Tom Watson, triumphed under new party rules. Ed Miliband's real legacy, perhaps. Labour in the hands of its supporters, not its MPs.
Our party is a broad church, always has been, always will be, and the task of the leader is to reach all parts of that movement, and I believe that's what Jeremy should do.
He could only have dreamt of this.
Fantastic moment, fantastic mandate for change in Britain, fantastic enthusiasm for real democratic politics. It's a great day.
For our party membership to be even bigger. It's already now become the largest membership ever in the history of the Labour Party. That is
an overwhelming moment for his supporters. Overwhelming too for his wife.
We walked together, we marched together down that road.
But look who came to join the party. The most powerful union boss in the land, Len McCluskey. One of the first to embrace him on stage.
This is unlike anything the Labour Party has seen for decades. You can feel the passion, the faith, the joy in what they've achieved in this room. But can they ever persuade the whole nation that they have the right answers?
That's a good way.
They are convinced these lyrics could become familiar again. The red flag, Labour's old song. But could the rest of us ever join in?
Do you think the general public would choose Jeremy Corbyn as a Prime Minister?
Well, we'll have to see, won't we? But, you know, what they do want is politicians of conviction, people who say what they mean. They are sick to death of people coming on looking like they're reading off a script. Well, that's clearly not Jeremy Corbyn.
Away from the crowds, one cool Labour head told me it's unpredictable, exciting or fatal. Whether you think it's a glorious fantasy or a nightmare for Labour, it is now real. Laura Kunsberg, BBC News, Westminster.